Hello, everyone. I am Erica Hill, and I have spent over 20 years in the underwriting on the lending side, looking at profiles. I am a former underwriter with over 20 years of experience. But tonight, I wanted to talk about three mistakes that I've actually seen that keeps business owners from getting funding. I actually help business funders strategically get approved for business funding so that they can scale and grow their business without self-funding and bootstrapping everything. And this conversation was sparked by things that happened just this week alone that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's very important. Let's talk about mistake number one, and that's using your personal money because it feels safe. Out, ouch, ouch. I know that probably hits some of you because I get it. And that was me at one point. Look, I know that, if you were anything like me, you may have been taught that debt was bad. I was. But let's face it, a lot of us are already in debt. We have mortgages, we have car notes, we have student loans, we have personal credit cards. And none of that debt is returning money back to us. So, in saying that, I totally understand you probably had that personal credit card before you even started that business. So, it's just easy for you to swipe that personal credit card when you need money for the business, you need to pay business expenses, whatever. It's just easy for you to swipe that personal credit card. But it may feel safe, but actually, that's the most riskiest thing that you're doing because you're risking your personal credit scores. And when I say you're risking your personal credit scores, anytime your utilization drops below like 30%, your credit scores actually go down. So even though you may feel that this is the safer method, it's actually the most risky method for you doing that. And you're missing out on opportunity costs by not using business funding. Another thing, too, that I want to bring to your attention is you don't want to commingle your funds. Your personal money should be your personal money, and your business money should be your business money. So there's a couple of reasons why, that method within itself actually may be costing you money. Let's talk about mistake number two, which is applying before they're positioned correctly. I see this all day, every day. Some of the business owners come to me, they have 700 plus credit scores, and they're like, look, I already have, personal credit cards. I have student loans. I have a mortgage. I think I can do this on my own. Then they come back to me like 6 months later and like, yeah, Erica, I got approved for $50,000 in business funding when they could have actually gotten approved for 100,000 in business funding only because they were not structured properly and they did not understand that. So another thing I want to tell you is when you have no strategy and you're applying here and you're applying there and you're applying here and you get approved here, you get approved there, you get approved here, and you don't have any strategy behind that, that actually may cost you approvals also. And it may actually get you a lower amount. And let me tell you why. There are certain lenders out there, Chase being one of them, where Chase has what they consider a 524 rule. So if you've opened up 5 new accounts with them within the last 24 months, they will deny you. And they don't care if you have 850 credit score. They will deny you because you're not within their guidelines. So it's things like that. You have to have a strategy when you're actually applying for funding. And when you don't have that strategy, sometimes that will actually cost you. And not to say, you may rack up a whole bunch of inquiries on your credit report, which actually lets the lenders know that's a red flag to them. You look desperate. So it's little things like that that may actually be costing you approvals. Let's talk about mistake number three, which is not understanding what the lenders actually are looking for. And I get it. You're not an underwriter. You don't know the guidelines. You don't know what they're looking for. So you're just kind of like chancing it. I understand that. But I want to tell you this because a lot of times, business owners think because I have a 750 credit score, I should get approved, and they don't. And they don't understand why. My credit scores are there. I should have gotten approved. The credit scores are not the only thing that the lenders actually look for. I've had a couple of people that one person had like a 738 credit score. I think the other person had like a 759 or something like that. It was pretty high. And I had to tell them, I can't help you. And the reason I couldn't help them is because both of their credit profiles were thin. They had the credit scores, but their profile was thin. And when I say that their profile was thin, the lenders actually they want to see how long you've had credit. They want to see the mixture of credit that you had. They want to see that you had installment loans. They want to see that you've had revolving loans. Like they look at all of that. And if let's say that you have like 2 credit cards that you've had maybe within the last 3 years, but you don't have anything else on your credit report. And let's say that you keep those under like a 10% utilization, like you're doing pretty well with those. That don't mean anything. Your scores may go up, but to the lenders, that doesn't mean anything because you haven't showed them that you actually are capable of carrying more debt when it comes to on the business side. So that profile actually matters. Another thing too, sometimes that trip business owners up, I get this a lot. You may think that, oh, this year we're having a slow cash flow quarter, or last year, was our bad year and we didn't do well with revenue. Don't let that deter you. Please don't. Because there are lenders out there that will approve you for business funding and it's not revenue generated. They don't need financials. They don't need bank statements. They don't need tax returns. So please don't let those things actually, defer you or deter you from actually trying to get business funding. So if you're listening and you're wondering like what your particular situation looks like specifically, like I want to know what my options are with my business and what I have actually going on, the next step for you is actually clarity. I do private funding reviews where we look at your particular profile and we see what options may exist for you and your business. Okay. If you want information, if you're like, okay, that sounds pretty good, I want to know a little bit more about that. And if you're somebody where you want access to funds within the next 30 to 60 days so that you can scale and grow your business, I want you to comment funding or click the QR code that should be on the screen. If not, just comment funding and myself or someone from my team will reach out to you. And no worries, you don't have to worry about any hard inquiries on your credit report because we don't do hard inquiries when we're actually looking at, if you actually qualify. So I hope this video actually helps. If you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Until next time, bye everybody.